at some point, I really got tired of hearing this saying everywhere. Show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. Okay, wait. I don't know my friend for a reason. Why must I show you my friend? Like, my friend is my friend. You can go and get yours if you need someone to tell you who you are because you are friend with somebody. Your personality always have to be tied to being friends with someone. Must always say, oh, this person is this person's friend, and that's why she's acting or behaving like this. And honestly, I got really tired, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to hear this saying anymore. Nobody should come to me and say, show me your friend, and I will tell you who you are. But then, of course, wherever you go, church, school, everywhere, you always hear the saying. But at some point, I started to think, what if that saying, what if that old saying isn't entirely wrong? Hey, gentlemen and babes, boys and girls, how are you doing? How is your weekend going? I hope it's been so restful. And if you are listening to this on a weekday, I hope you're having a very productive day. And how is the second half of the year treating you? I hope we are doing amazingly well. Okay, so yeah, welcome back to A Walk with A.F.I, the podcast where we process growth, faith, and all the messy but necessary lessons that shape us. One thing I've realized about influence is that influence is always not big, it's always not loud, it's not always obvious like we think. Sometimes it's very soft, it's subtle, it's not noisy, it's very calm, and that's the kind of influence that friendship has on us. The people that sit at your table, the people that you call friends, your inner circle, they have a whole lot of, I don't want to say power, but honestly, their influence is top notch. But it depends on who they are and it depends on how it affects you. I know we always love to say this. Nobody can force me to do what I don't want to do, right? If I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do that. At the end of the day, we are a product of our choices, our decisions, and obviously, nobody will force you and say you must put your hand inside it. But then sometimes it doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to come out of pressure. They tell you, no, I'm not pressured. You don't have to be pressured. Do you get? Sometimes it's just because of the people around. Their personality just rub off on us. I can say this for a fact. Of course, there are words that I say that I got those words from my friends, honestly, and there's some way that I react. So I'll be like, oh, this person just comes to my mind. This person that does this, she's the only one that reacts like this. And same me, I'm doing same. So sometimes it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be out of pressure. It doesn't have to be that they are forcing you or they are carrying cane and saying, you must do this. No, it doesn't have to be that. Most times it's just so soft. You don't even realize that they are rubbing off on you. It's until you notice yourself and you're like, wait, I don't do this before. Why am I talking like this? Why am I behaving like this? Why do I do this? Why do I do that? Let me cite another example. Before, I wasn't really a fan of Nigerian movies. Yeah. And then at some point, my friend would be like, oh, there's this YouTube movie. Girl, if you see it, you're going to love it. And I'll be like, well, I don't watch Nigerian movies. And then my friend would be like, just try it. And before I knew it, I became a fan of Nigerian movies. Even now, at least I can mention some of the actors. I'm like, oh, this is this person, this is this person. And then it was that I just say, wait, girl, how come you know the name of these actors? And I'm like, guy, this is my friend's way, right? He didn't force me. My friend didn't force me to start watching Nigerian movies. It's just random talk. And then he would just bring up a movie that I watched. I'm like, oh, that movie sounds interesting. And before I knew it, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to check it out on YouTube. And then I started being a fan of the Nigerian movie as well. So you see, it doesn't have to be loud, honestly. But then it's so important to check the kind of people that we have in our inner circle because honestly speaking, it goes a long way in defining who we are. Let me say this is the second half of the year and you've set out a lot of goals that you want to achieve by December. And then sometimes it's not because you cannot do those things, but sometimes it's just because of the kind of energy that is coming from the people around you. Imagine your own type of productive day is you waking up in the morning, probably saying your prayers or reading your Bible, cleaning up your house, then you probably make breakfast, you go to work, you make sure you finish all your to-do list at work, you get back home, you probably read a book, you pray, and then you sleep or probably that's your own definition of a productive day. But then imagine you have been surrounded by people that their own definition of a productive day is you wake up late, you get to work, you just do one or two, you are not concerned about, making sure you finish all your to-do list. Then you get back home and you watch movie till you sleep. That is their own definition of a productive day. There's no how. See, gradually it will start rubbing off on you, and then little by little you realize that your definition of a productive day is actually changing with time. So all I'm saying is you can be productive, you can have goals, you can say this is who I am, and then you're surrounded by people that they are entirely opposite of who you are. The thing is, they don't have to force you at all. With time, you will start behaving like them, you start talking like them, you start reasoning like them. And that is why it is actually very important to be surrounded with people that, even if you are not going to the same place, but then let me say, be surrounded with people that you are going to the same place, and if not the same destination, at least your path aligns. And this honestly reminds me of a particular story that I love so much. If you grew up in a Christian home, I'm very sure you will know this story. And in fact, if you just have a church close to you, be sure that you will be able to relate with this story. So the story of Esther in the Bible, we love to talk about Esther being bold, how she became queen at the right time. It was a very appropriate time. It was a very great timing. And, it was very much needed. If not, the Jews, and even her uncle, they would have probably been killed. And because Esther was the queen at that particular time, they were able to avert, that dangerous situation. But then, most times, we don't talk about the fact that the book of Esther did not start with Esther being queen. It started with Vashti being queen. Exactly my point. Vashti was queen, right? And, she embodied royalty, she embodied presence, she embodied authority. But at the end of the day, what happened? The king said, okay, call me my queen. I want to show off my queen to the people, but she refused. Whether we think what Vashti did was right or wrong, a decision, that no that she said cost her a crab, and in her place Esther became queen, right? The whole lesson there is the king realized that Vashti couldn't go on with the kind of kingdom that he was, because she disrespected the king, right? And she was a queen. So it's very obvious that the women will start acting in alignment with what she did. They can tell their husbands, even the queen did this, so why are you to tell me that and that? So because of that, the king realized that, okay, I no longer need this woman in the kind of kingdom that I want to build. And then Vashti was thrown out of the palace, and that was how Esther was able to come into the palace. This is the lesson there. The king realized that Vashti was no longer in alignment with where he was going, with the kind of kingdom that he wanted to build. And because of that, he removed her from the palace. Now, all I'm saying is, before you can take such a decision, you must have asked yourself some certain honest questions. The king sat with the people. He didn't just take that decision out of nowhere. His associates were like, oh, king, if you allow this to slide, this is not going to look good on the kingdom at all. So there are questions that you need to ask yourself. Who are the people sitting at your table? Who do you call friends? Who are the people in your inner circle? You can have a lot of acquaintances, you can know a lot of people, but then there are certain people that they are so dear to you, they are close to your heart. These are the people that you call anytime, any day. These are the people that you want to share a lot of things with. Who are those people sitting at your table? Who are those people in your inner circle? After spending time with these certain people, how do you feel? Do you feel inspired, or do you feel drained? There are some people that that when you talk to, they're your friends truly, but that when you talk to them, it's just like you're wasting your time, because at the end of the day, you go back and you're just like, oh my God, what a day. But then there are people that you talk to, then you go back being inspired, you go back being motivated. So check it. This kind of people, the people that you have in your inner circle, how do they leave you after spending time with them? Do you feel like a better version of yourself? Do you feel like you can do better? Or do you feel like, what, all hope is lost? Where am I? What can I do? And also, do they correct you in love or enable your silence? Correcting in love doesn't mean they are pampering you. Ah, God, I have friends like that. Guy, they're not going to pamper you at all, at all, at all. They will hit the nail on the head. They will hit it where it hurts. They will let you know that, girl, what you did, don't do that. That is very wrong. And when you do something that is what them commending you for, they're like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Do you understand? There are people that they let you see that, okay, yes, this that you've done is bad, but then you can always do better. But then there are people that make you feel like, oh, you did this, they judge you, they do all of that. You know the people that you can say some things to. You know the people that when you do something that is very bad, that you yourself, you already judge yourself. You know people that you can share that with, and you know people that you cannot dare to share that with because you know how they are going to react. I'm not saying when you do something that is not okay, you know the person that will tell you to your face the way it is and you don't go to them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you need people like that. Yes, you need people that they can call you out on your BS. You do something that is bad, they tell it to your face, a girl, boy, a man or guy. You've done something that is very terrible. And also, do they call out the version of you that you are becoming or the one you used to be? There are people that they keep dragging you back to where you don't want to be. They keep dragging you back into the mud. And there are people that they allow you to see the future. They allow you to see who you can be. They allow you to see who you want to be. They allow you to see who you are trying to become, and not drag you back into your mess, drag you back into the past you are trying to heal from. So yes, you have to ask yourself these honest questions. And when you ask yourself these honest questions, and then you realize that these people inside your inner circle, this whole thing, the answers from your questions, they do not revolve around you but around them. Honestly, maybe it's like that you start to act like the king and let those Vashti live your life and allow Queen Esther to come into your life. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about them, it's also about you. It's about who you want to become. It's about the kind of life you want to live. It's about the kind of kingdom, in quotes, that you want to build. So just like the king, how to do away with Vashti, you also, I'm not saying you should start snubbing people. I'm not saying you should start, telling people off from your life. What I'm saying is be detailed about the people that are in your inner circle. You can have a lot of friends. You can have a lot of people that you know. You can be cordial and cool with a lot of people. But who are the people that you sit with? Who are the people that sit at your table? Who are the people that you so much call my friend? Who are the people that you so much, talk to? They know the in and out of your life. Who are they? You just need to ask yourself these honest questions and be truthful to yourself. So stop deceiving yourself. I'm serious. You just have to answer this question with the whole of your heart, and then work on it. If these people still align with where you are going, it's all well and good. Keep them. But if not, give people space. See, it's not a crime to give people space. If you feel like these people, no, they're not going to help me in becoming who I want to be. Imagine there are people that when you want to, picture the future, there are people that you talk to. There are people that you talk to and they're like, oh, yes, you can do this. Yes, I believe you can do that. But then there are some people that every time you go to them to talk, Jesus, they're always very pessimistic about everything you say. And before you know it, you start to think about how everything and everyone is going against you. You don't even think that there are good people out there anymore. You don't even think that good things can come out of you. It's as if you are giving up on the world, or you are giving up on yourself and all of that. But there are people that you talk to that even in the own bustle and the hustle of life, the old worries, the old issues that might be surrounding you, they still see the light. They still show you the light. Those are people that you need to keep. So I'm not telling you to tell this kind of people off, but I'm telling you, keep people that are interested in your growth. Keep people that want to see you get better in every sphere of your life, your career, your spirituals, your relationship with your family, your friends. They just want to see you bloom. They just want to see you do good. They just want to see you be happy. And that's because you yourself, you are that kind of person. It's very selfish for you to want to be surrounded with people that are good and you don't want to be good to them. That is another topic for another day, right? Yes, I know that. But all I'm saying is be conscious of the people that are in your inner circle. Be so conscious of the people that you call friends. Be so conscious of the people that you let into the inner core of your being. And as you go this week, I hope that you will ask yourself these honest questions and you will know the people that you need to keep or the people that you need to drop closer to yourself, other people that you just need to set boundaries around. And until I see you again, please keep thriving, keep working on yourself, keep believing, and keep blooming. I love you, and I'll say bye.